met Bryan at a Halloween party. He was in the arts, I'm in the arts. We both grew up in New Jersey. We basically had the same kind of life. And then we started doing the comics just because I think Bryan's always wanted to be able to draw something. He can't do it though. His sculptures are like drawings. He tries things and erases things. The way he works is very similar to drawing. He's Italian by way of New Jersey, by way of wanting to be mildly Jewish. That wraps up into basically him using his hands a lot, just talking about like all kinds of crazy things. After years of friendship, I know that he's gonna tell me a crazy story and then I'm gonna have to say, so which part was really true?
Yeah, I don't know, I got this like really weird flu. My head started pounding me. I'm mostly better, but I'm just like really confused now. I don't know, but there could be fluid building around my brain as we speak. I'll be like sitting at home all by myself and I just say, I'm Bryan Zanisnik. I live in Ridgewood, New York. I'm an artist. And I kind of just repeat back to myself because I think if I know these things and I'm not confused, I can make the argument that if I think I'm confused, I'm not, because confused people don't know they're confused. But I'm pretty sure there's fluid forming around my brain. We got to think about what we want to make our next comics about.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So we could either address some of the more current things that are going on.
Like, what were you thinking?
I don't know, you know.
So what's going on in the work now?
So yeah, I'm working on this project. I'm like building this library. You know, it's all based around the time Philip Roth almost
tried to sue you.
Yeah,
right?
Roth tried to sue me.
I'm Roth. I will be by your side a long while, as will my lawyers.
No, get out of my brain.
So back in 2012, I was doing this performance at Abrons Art Center where in the middle of these thousands of objects, there was this 12-foot tall glass container, and then I was holding this Philip Roth novel. I wasn't even reading it out loud, I was just holding it, and he found out about this, and he tried to sue me. So yesterday I went on Amazon and bought 550 Philip Roth novels.
No, you didn't. So how much did they cost?
It was like, I don't know, it's like $1,600 for 5. It was cheap. So now I'm collecting a huge library of his works. You know, it's the Philip Roth Presidential Library. I have a 3D modeled and printed bust of Roth.
Your new roommate.
This is Fresh Air. I'm Terry Gross. Happy birthday, Philip Roth.
Do you think he's going to sue you again?
Well, I'm hoping, but don't tell the gallery in Miami this. I'm actually going down there on Thursday.
What is this, a joke? Whose back is this? Do you want to explain this to me?
I was in graduate school and I was shooting these videos, and then after the videos were finished, I was taking objects from the videos, arranging them on the wall as a tableau, and then photographing them. And I began realizing these photographs were actually even more interesting than the videos themselves. And I think in recent years, I've really been interested in seeing how far I can push it site-specifically.
Departing passengers should proceed.
Yeah, let's keep talking about that, because I really feel like there's something in there in the comic about for Roth.
No, I'm already getting ideas, so I think it's good. But you're doing something at the Queens Museum, right?
Yeah, well, my studio is there for the year now. I'm working this project where I'm building these sets for photographs. I don't know if you remember, you came by my studio in DUMBO last year. I had this like crazy view of the Manhattan skyline and bridge.
Yeah.
So I built these sets over the windows, and then I like kind of punched holes. When I went to the Queens Museum, I kind of thought I wanted to continue this.
Not as good of a view, though.
I don't have windows in my studio, so that's a problem. But right outside the museum are all of the monuments from the World's Fair. People think I do this in Photoshop. I think that these places that are so much tied to the city or identified with the city are just almost becoming outside of our reach. Like even with the Queens Museum, it's an amazing institution, but I am practically gonna have a foot in Long Island. So I'm feeling like I'm being like pushed, like the things that we identify as a city and the iconic New York City are like slipping away from artists. And I think in a way, it also feels like, to me, this project, I feel in some weird ways, it's almost kind of a goodbye to New York.
My work is very personal, but I've been careful not to get too indulgent in autobiography, but Eric can dress it directly in a comic, and I like that. I like this idea that it sort of contextualizes, it brings in another level of autobiography. But this is that performance where I was wearing baguettes as arms, and they got ripped off. And then my mom and dad ate my arms. That was a good time.
The character is a little more arrogant. Not that Bryan isn't slightly arrogant. Sometimes that comes across.
There's just a lot of similarities between Eric and I. The real unfortunate similarities is that he lost his mother to cancer 2 years ago, and I lost my mom to cancer last year. So I think there's also kind of been a real sort of new depth to our friendship there, and us kind of having both gone through this loss early in our lives.
How's your dad doing?
He's okay.
It's always weird. It's like, how do you talk about losing your mom without, it feels like I always just go to like talking about my dad.
No, I mean, and there's different stages of like having to deal with it, and then like how you feel like during different stages. And I still, you know, I get like, I have hard days.
My mom was a real
Your mom was a character, so
she was a
mine.
character. Yeah,
of
so was
course.
yours. And it's crazy. Like think about like how many comics did you draw of my mom? A lot.
I know, a lot.
Yeah.
It's weird sometimes because I want to put her back in sometimes.
Yeah. Maybe it's a weird thing to say, but I feel like she would like it. Someone said to me once, the relationship doesn't really end. Like it just changes in a very different and kind of often sad way, but it's not like it completely ends 100%.
Right.
You know, I had probably done around 30 performances with my parents, believe it or not, over 7 years. One of the things that's really nice is my relationship with them really evolved over those years.